This is Eric Hayden. I'm a meteorologist with the Weather Service in Morehead City, North Carolina. This video will cover the snow for eastern North Carolina. We'll talk about strong winds and also some coastal flooding. We recorded this briefing around 4 o'clock Thursday afternoon on the 20th of February. This is our changeover map to snowfall. We will see some sleet pellets mixing in with the rain from time to time, but this is when we think the snow will start after 5 up toward Greenville, after 8 in New Bern, and after 11 down toward Jacksonville and Morehead City. Keep in mind that's when the snow may mix in, but for some of us it may take some time for the snow to actually accumulate because of our warm ground. This is our expected snowfall. Not a lot of change from earlier this morning. The highest amount still farther inland toward Greenville and Plymouth. An inch or two still possible down toward the Crystal Coast, and probably nothing out toward Hatteras Island. One thing to point out is we do anticipate some folks seeing bands of heavier snow. With that in mind, this is our reasonable worst case scenario. While 4 to 6 inches is most likely inland, if we were to see some heavier bands of snow, more than 6 inches of snow can't be ruled out. That would be most likely that darker shading of blue and especially the yellow areas. As far as when does the snow end Friday, by 9 a.m. up toward Greenville and Kinston, the yellow area is a little trickier. During that time frame, we really expect the snow to decrease in intensity. In fact, for some folks along the coast, we may actually go back over to all rain before it ends by about mid-morning. The other part of the story are gusty winds, 20 to 30 miles per hour. That will combine with the heavier snow tonight to produce poor visibility. And since the snow will be very wet, clinging to everything, we may have some scattered power outages. The other factor, strong winds along the coast out of the north. That will really pile up the water. We've already seen some elevated water levels on the Pamlico Sound, specifically the southern part of the Sound, because of that northerly wind. With that in mind, we still expect some coastal flooding, areas of down east Carteret County, Craven County near Havelock and North Harlow, Clubfoot Creek, some of those areas. Also Hatteras Village and Ocracoke, 1 to 2 feet above normally dry ground. So what we mean by that is areas that are low-lying and adjacent to waterways that are usually dry, you could see 1 to 2 feet of inundation. We call this minor flooding. That area circled in red, however, over towards Cedar Island, if we were to see values approaching 3 feet, that would be most likely there over toward Course Sound. As we wrap things up, one more thing we want to point out. Friday night's going to be very, very cold. Anything wet, anything slushy, it will refreeze. So we will have more icy spots Friday night, especially those areas that see a lot of snowfall into Friday morning. This will be our last briefing, but please continue to follow us on our website, weather.gov/Newport, or anywhere on social media, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Just search NWS Morehead City.